T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, a
Hello.
very good evening. How are we all doing? Hello, Flower.
Hello, love. You alright?
Here we are. We can stand nearer to each other, not quite nearer.
Not quite, you know.
But I mean, we have
I
been
try to keep
sensible.
my distance as it is, but you know.
We've been in a little worker bubble, everybody. We've fully been working with everybody to make this happen today for you. We are almost back to normal now.
Oh my God.
I want you to all pay attention to the hair, everybody, because it'll make sense later on. If you've seen me milling about, you'll know this is an unusual do, but I've done it for a reason. How are you? It's been a strange week.
Oh my God, what a week.
What a week. It really has. You can't stand like that if I'm
can if
standing
I'm
like that.
I just automatically cross my arms.
We're like Cagney and Lacey, aren't we, today? We're like Cagney and Lacey.
I was gonna go with like
I just
Charlie's
don't know which
Angels,
one's
but,
butcher. No. Yes. Now, we have got a really fantastic show for you today. We should, first of all, cut to the green room. Can we cut to the green room, please?
What are they doing?
Hello, green room over there. Give us a big wave. There we are.
Way.
Now, they're all in there because we've been supplied, with it being our first show back together, everybody, we've been supplied by food from the lovely food company, everybody. And how is the food in the green room? Is it okay?
That's good. It's so good that they can't even speak a word.
Thank you, Paul.
Feel free to leave us some abs. It's fine.
Please.
Please.
You can see that we've got in the green room tonight, we have got our Paul Rudd, our weatherman. Hello, Paul. Are you all right?
Hi.
Good weather on the horizon, I hope, today.
Yes, there'll be lots of sunshine this week
Ah.
and next week.
If
Fingers
Paul says
crossed.
it must be true.
It must be
Fingers
true.
crossed.
Well, everything crossed. It literally is. Also, next to him, our Coronation Street aficionado, Mr. Mark Llewellyn. How are you, Mr. Mark Llewellyn?
Very well,
Hello.
thank you.
There you are. And what are you bringing us today? What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the second most famous redhead after yourself.
That is, of course, Pat Phoenix, indeed. And then, in case you don't remember this gentleman, this is Mr. Colin Titters Titley, everybody.
Hi,
Over there
Titters.
at the end. Hello, Titters. Yeah. It's been a while. What food have you got there? Because we can't quite
Yeah, we
see
can't
because
really
of
see it from here.
the boxes.
What food am I wearing?
Yeah, what food are you wearing?
I'm wearing a bit of burger, a little bit of, what's it, pasta? Pizza, yeah.
Yeah.
The chicken
He speaks
wings
Italian
today
fluently.
for.
Wonderful. Well, of course, you can't. Thank you, guys. We'll catch up with you later. Now, of course, you can't have food without having drink. Now, one gentleman is doing absolutely fantastic. Yeah, one guy is doing absolutely fantastic. We're going to bring him in a second, but we couldn't let this week pass without mentioning the reason why we're all wearing black is, of course, for the lovely Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
Nation is in mourning.
Duke of Edinburgh, you were part of that. You
I
did
was.
that.
I've got all three Duke of Edinburghs.
And you were on telly with him and everything.
I mean, I was on the news recently. We're besties, I'm just saying.
Are you
Well,
besties?
We were.
Shall we have a look at the time you were on telly with him? Right, look in the background there,
Right
everybody.
there, kids.
There he is.
What a man.
And just in case you didn't quite see him, let's zoom in on
What's
that.
this? I didn't know this was happening. Oh my gosh.
There you are.
Nobody wants to be that close to me.
I mean, you look absolutely stunning. There's no two ways about it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, when was that?
That was 3 years ago now.
And did you speak to the man himself?
Yeah, I did.
And what
Yeah.
did you
Do you know
discuss?
what? He's very sprightly. Like, you know, he's walking down the green and his bodyguards are trying to keep up with him because he's going like,
He's
getting his
fast.
cane out. Oh, he's very fast. Someone was like, he's dead. I went, I can see why. I mean, I think he took a lot of drugs to get out there that day.
Right.
He was speeding.
Okay. Right, then, let's move on then. So with food, of course, there has to be drink. Now, this gentleman started off on doing lovely programmes of Alan Titchmarsh, you know, gorgeous, sensible pictures, I think, you know. Pictures with
that.
drink, you
Oh,
know. I'm liking a bit of the
stunning.
champagne. I'm liking a bit of the
Matching
red, bit of
shorts
vino,
and
yeah,
t-shirts,
shorts, t-shirts,
cute, little
bit of
picture.
sangria, you know,
Ah.
nice cocktails, bit of blood orange.
Oh.
And then I don't seem to know what happened, but over lockdown he went from being very sensible to being, well, what can only be described as dirty, everybody. And these kind of pictures,
Suddenly I want a pineapple. I have no idea why.
do you? I wanted to see a bit of rhubarb today. I'm quite partial to rhubarb. Yes, obviously all these pictures were done for a reason. You know, they're all very sensible pictures.
Of course.
They are. Absolutely. Look at that. Bunch of daffs.
Bunch of daffs,
yeah, lovely. And what gorgeous spuds he has,
the Irishman
everybody.
inside me screaming for these potatoes.
I can imagine. So let's bring in, what's the bad word? Okay, let's bring in, did I use the word spud? Are you not allowed to use the word spud?
I would call you offensive.
Okay, would you?
No, I'm not calling you offensive.
Spud, it's a spud, Spudnik. Right, okay, let's bring him in. This is TV's Andy Clarke, everybody. Andy Clarke.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? All good?
What are you drinking, sir?
I've got a gin made in Manchester on the go as we speak.
Manchester
I have
gin.
Manchester from Didsbury gin. It's probably backwards on your screen. I'm not too sure, but it's made by. Oh, good. It's made by two gentlemen who love gin bars and gin in pubs so much they decided to make their own. I've got a strawberry and Sicilian lemon on the go, thinking that spring is coming. I've also got another one, raspberry and elderflower. I might go on to that one next to match the raspberry of my shirt. Do you know what I mean?
It's a very nice shirt, that. It's a very nice shirt. Now, for those of you that aren't too aware of you, perhaps explain your background and where you come from, because I want everybody to know all about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm a TV producer by trade. So I made programs like Saturday Kitchen. I used to work on I used to produce Richard and Judy on Channel 4 and also Blue Peter back in the day. And then I got into sort of food and drink writing and broadcasting. So now I sort of do cocktail sessions on This Morning on ITV and also do some drinks and food recommendations on Alan Titchmarsh's Love Your Weekend show on the weekend. So a bit of everything. And so, yeah, anything where I can bring together people, food and drink together across the airwaves, then I will do it. And it's lovely to connect with you lovely people in Manchester with a drink as well. So cheers.
Thank you,
a man after
Flower.
my own heart.
Now,
you mentioned food and alcohol.
Drinks at the moment seem to be going through a bit of a catalyst. It used to be very trendy to have a vodka or a gin. What would you say since lockdown has become kind of trendier now?
Now, I think it's really nice to change what you're drinking. I love a gin and I love a flavoured gin and they are very popular. But what's nice is when you reach through your cocktail cabinet and as we get back into bars, look at the shelves behind the bar, see what you might not have tried before. I am a massive vermouth fan, okay? Vermouth, it's got a bit of a reputation as being a bit blousy, a bit retro. Think Joan Collins, think Leonard Rossiter, all of that. But yeah, Negronis, sweet vermouth in a Negroni that is with gin and Campari. It's brilliant. But a vermouth and tonic or a vermouth and soda, it's basically an aromatized wine with loads of botanicals that give it different flavors. There's so many being made in the UK, from Scotland to London down to the West Country, one around the corner in my hometown as well. And they are delicious. So if you're in a bar, put the gin aside, try a vermouth and tonic and see what you think. And I want to know on Canal Street what you're all drinking when you get back.
Well, I mean, I'll give that a go. What is a vermouth then? What bracket does it fall under?
So it's basically a fortified wine, which is a wine with extra alcohol added to make it stronger. And then it's aromatized. So you'll put in botanicals, like there's wormwood, there can be herbs, spices. People put orange peel, they'll put, sage from the garden, tarragon, anything. You can put anything in it. It just has to have wormwood and that species in it to make it a vermouth. And it's actually lower alcohol than gin and vodka. So if you're looking not to get too tipsy, then actually it's quite a good way to go.
Yeah, that's a good way to taste the alcohol but not feel the effects. That's not a bad idea, actually.
No, it's not, is
Yeah.
it? No. Yes. I might give that a go, actually.
Yes.
There you go.
I've never thought about having a vodka drinker. So I'm going to give that a go.
We'll get you a bit of flavour in it. We'll get a bit of sage, a bit of orange peel. You'll love it.
Really?
Get an orange peel like your hair, it'd be nice.
Outrageous.
Okay, outrageous. But there are other things you can try as well. On the drink shelves in the bars, there are things like brandy, there are things like whiskey. And absolutely, I was talking to a whiskey producer earlier on in the week, and he was like, I love drinking my whiskey in tonic. And I'll tell you one thing that I never thought I'd say. Cognac, obviously, which is a type of brandy from a specific area in France, put that with ginger beer. That is a match made in heaven. If you want to excite the palate, if you want to try something different, give that a go. And nothing wrong with vodka. I love vodka, Belinda. I have to say, big vodka fan. But try something different.
Because I think there's a bit of a snobbiness, isn't there, with the top shelf drinks?
Oh, yes.
You shouldn't have them with this, you should have them with that. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And really, would you say it's kind of about experimenting?
Absolutely. Never let anybody judge you. Do what you want. If you want to put wine with Coca-Cola in the same glass over ice, just do it. You know, there is no right and wrong. I always say, in my bar, there is no judgment. Try what you want, enjoy it, and if you enjoy it, that's the best thing.
That's what you want, though, isn't it?
Your room seems to be very full of alcohol there. What is this? Your main? Tell me this isn't
Is
your
this
spare
your bar?
bedroom. This is your actual bar room.
This is my dining room. Actually, you haven't seen. Hang on, let me show you my wine rack. Let me
Let's
see
have a
if I can
look.
just.
Oh, can we can see the bar?
Um,
I'm gonna get very excited.
the wine rack.
Coming
there.
round the night.
I'm glad you finished
That's
that.
me.
sentence.
There's honestly, you are more than welcome. And I've got to show you. There's my orchid on that side. I'm very proud of that.
Oh,
so I want to show you
lovely.
guys
Is that
the
a real
orchid.
one?
It's real. It's real.
Oh, it's
Absolutely
grown
from
very
garden
well.
centre down the road. Yeah, well, it had a load of flowers on it. It died off, and then I thought it's never going to come back because they never do. Went to the garden centre, got some like organic spray to put on it, and suddenly 35 flowers popped up. I thought I was drunk because I usually am. So, but it's done very well, and it sort of nearly matches my shirt. So,
Not only the kind of man who loves his alcohol, he loves his greenery as
That's
well.
fantastic. Why are you so passionate about alcohol?
I'll tell you what, I always have a philosophy that you should drink to be happy and you should sip. I always say sip happy. I don't drink to sort of get depressed or get maudlin. I think in the last year, you know, I think a lot of people in the first lockdown did a lot of drinking, but I think there's nothing wrong with having a drink, but I think do it for the right reasons. Do it to be celebratory. And it's a really good way to connect with people. You might not get on with somebody if you buy them a drink and you start having a gossip. Things change. We know that from going out and about in the bars. And I think you just should drink with a positive way. Be sensible with it. You know, sometimes put more mixer than you do neat alcohol, but just enjoy it. And I love it. And it's something that I have embraced over the last few years through work, and I love it to bits.
Now, you seem to have quite the good body going off your pictures. There's a lot of things going around at the moment
Alcohol's not
saying, I
helping
was
with
just
that.
going to say, alcohol isn't deemed as a health thing, and a lot of people have been focusing on, like, you know, the fitness coaches and all stuff like that. Can you drink alcohol and stay healthy?
You can. I think the best thing to do is to have a bit of a curfew. My husband and I, what we try to do is maybe have 3 days on the trot where you don't have any alcohol at all. You drink lots of water. I drink green tea as a bit of a purifier in the day. I do a lot of cycling and running and weights and core. But then when you are going to have a drink,
Exercise.
you just have. You know what? I eat so much, and actually, people say if you didn't eat so much, you wouldn't have to exercise as much. I'm like, nah, that's not an option because I love the food. But if you don't exercise, don't eat as much. Maybe drink purer spirits because the clearer the spirit, the slightly better for or less bad for you they are. So that's what I would say. And you know, we tend to concentrate our drinking into maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we don't drink the rest of the week. So enjoy it when you
people
can.
drink the vodka straight from the bottle.
You see, I only have Monday off these days. Only Mondays off from not drinking.
Oh, look at you.
Why are you standing camper than me tonight?
I
What
don't
is
mean
going on?
to. I just do a thing.
I can't cope. I'm supposed to be the...
She's the one dressed as a woman.
Now leave it. I am a woman. Real woman standing.
You're both gorgeous. You're both gorgeous.
Oh, see.
So how do we get a body like yours then? And how is the body these days?
Body is fine, and like you said, lockdown. I decided
I'm obviously trying to prompt you to do something there, Andy. How is the body these days?
the body, when
Jake,
you
and
can
you
be,
told me not to flirt before. This is awful.
you can be the judge. You can be the
I'll
judge.
be the judge.
Oh,
Look at
oh,
that.
That's.
Oh, I could dry me
not-
washing. I could dry me washing on that.
I'll have a drink or 2 or 10.
You could grate your lemon zest
Oh,
on that.
there we go. Put that in my
Yeah.
mouth.
I've actually just done a trim. Actually, sometimes it's a bit bushier than
Do you
this.
need
I'll
me
be
help the
honest.
next time? Or?
You come down to Bristol. And I love, right, when the weather is good, I like to get out in the garden, not necessarily wear a lot of clothes as you've seen on my social media. So what I did during lockdown, I didn't have a lot of work because being freelance, it sort of dried up. And I was like, if I can encourage people to have body positivity, to get out there, eat seasonal veg. So I started positioning the veg and the drinks as you saw in front of me. And I was like, just embrace it, get out there, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy your body and everybody else's. And that's the way forward.
I like the way you're reasoning with being naked. It's You keep telling yourself it's there.
Take a
for
picture of
people
some
to
veg,
understand.
and that's okay.
You don't
That's
need a reason to be naked. Just enjoy it.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Now we're getting quite a few comments, so I think we'll have a look at some of the comments while you're
Oh, yes,
There we
yes.
go. Let's go to the so we've got people in from Oxford.
Hello.
Dean Taylor all the way from Oxford. Hello, Oxford. Oxford, a very nice place. Bet they don't mix their drinks. What are you drinking there, Andy, at the moment, by the way?
Oh yeah, so yeah, but that was I was just pouring some more tonic
Just
into.
working his way through drink.
Do you know what? It is a man after my own heart. That's all I need.
See, my cheeks will be rosier than my shirt at this rate. That's
all
that's.
right.
But no, I just put some more tonic in my gin to make sure that I don't drink too much of the pure alcohol. But I am going to move on to the vermouth, definitely, without a doubt.
Okay, then.
Okay.
I've got to ask you, what were you more nervous about, dealing with us tonight or dealing with Philip Schofield?
Well, that would be telling, wouldn't it? That would be for the next episode, I think. No, Philip,
So
look,
he wants
do
to
you know
come
what?
back to us, but he hasn't said he's going back to him. So that's
No,
how
no.
I see that.
I've got my priorities in the right place. No, do you know what?
Absolutely.
When I do the This Morning stuff, I actually do it from here and they send a cameraman to the house. So we've been very socially distanced in different cities. Him and Holly, or sometimes I did it with Eamon and Ruth as well, and they're very distanced. But when
Basically the same as me and you.
It is, yeah.
there we are.
We're
But yeah,
Eamon and Ruth.
yeah,
The same thing.
you are based. Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. You've got the accents going on. Definitely.
I'm nowhere near the same age as that lovely lady. I'm really not.
She's younger.
And thank you. And then, of course, you work with Alan Titchmarsh. Now, he's very straight-laced and sensible, but I've heard he does like a little tipple. Does he have a favourite drink?
Well, do you know what? Alan has been a friend of mine for a number of years. We, funnily enough, are in the same theatre company. He is patron of a theatre company that when I was in London, I was doing a lot of musicals. And so we got to know each other through that. And a member of his production team, who didn't know I knew him, contacted me about coming on the programme. And I was like, this is great. So do you know what? Alan is great because he's really relaxed and down to earth. He loves maybe a little gin and tonic or a glass of wine. And if anybody's seen me on his Love Your Weekend programme, I'll put a cocktail in front of him. And sometimes he'll take a swig, not realising how potent it is. And you see his eyes just go, woo! Getting
That's
really
me
red.
if I make a drink. That's just the life. Amount of times I make cocktails for someone to go, is this just like pure alcohol? I'm like, drink it, be fine.
You like a drink, though, don't you?
I love a drink.
What's a good cocktail these days, then? If we were, like, trying to be a bit snobby, we walked into a bar now that they're all open again.
Yeah.
What could we order as a good cocktail?
Well, one of my favourites, I think a good test of whether a bar or a restaurant does a good cocktail, a good test is a margarita. So you've got tequila,
I agree
you've
with
got lime juice, you've got Cointreau, and you can have that as like almost like a slush puppy. You can have it over ice, or you can have it in the little martini glass, straight up margarita. But also, let's not. And you've got to. Oh, actually, I did say something about a salty rim when I was on this morning, and as usual, people pick up on that. I don't know why.
Of course.
Obviously,
I'm not even going to mention, but it is my favourite part of a margarita, so I can't even say much.
Well, look, it's all fine. We all love a salty rib, so that's not a problem at all.
Well, it's true. Now, you can have the other ones that I had when I was in Mexico was a golden margarita.
Ooh.
Now, I brought that back. Golden margarita.
What are the ingredients?
It's got Don Julio tequila in it.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to say something else.
And it blew my absolute head. I was in the swimming pool. I had to stay in the swimming pool for an extra 4 hours for no other reason. I didn't know where I was after one drink.
Yeah.
It was that strong. And then I brought it back to 20 Stories here, and I tried one with a friend of mine. Well, she was unconscious within one sniff of it.
Amazing.
It's strong.
That's what you want. That's what I drink. I drink Ray Nephews and Coke because the double is like my starter thing. You'll know that's 63% rum, that. And I drink that as a starter.
That's not good. It's not good at all.
Oh.
But what do you think about a Cosmopolitan? See, that's one of my favourites because it reminds me of Sex and the City, and it reminds me of going to New York back when we
What's in
could
a
travel.
Cosmopolitan? Isn't that the non-alcoholic one?
No. Cosmopolitan, you've got vodka, you've got Cointreau, lime juice, and cranberry juice. So it's got bright red. But I do one where I put a dash of M&S and Waitrose do clementine juice. So if you put a dash of that in it, it works really well with the lime juice and the Cointreau. So next time you're on Canal Street, get a Cosmopolitan down your neck and start flirting away with everybody in the bar.
I think I've just found out why I was going wrong with cocktails because I thought the Cosmopolitan was alcohol-free and I was drinking like 10 of them a night. So I probably...
That makes sense. That does make sense now.
Point proven. So where are we going to find you next then, Andy? You're obviously coming back on our programme doing something very, very soon.
Clearly.
Hopefully, that would be lovely. I would really love that. I am actually next Monday. I'm doing an Instagram live with a friend of mine, Rachel Koo, who is a cook, an international chef. I've just produced and directed a series with her on chocolate called Rachel Koo's Chocolate for Food Network and Discovery Plus. And we're going to do a little Instagram Live on Monday at 6 p.m. So if you follow me at TV's Andy Clarke on Instagram, you'll be able to click on us live talking about our experiences filming chocolate all over the UK, because we managed to film the series in the late summer and early autumn last year. So in that little bit where we were allowed to go out and about. Yeah, so we are going to be chatting about that. And also that I'm hosting a few food festivals this year around the country, as well as doing hopefully some more.
Right, we're taking the show on tour.
We need to bring back properly the chicken wing and blue cheese. It's the future. Right. Okay then, Andy Clarke, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll be dreaming of you tonight, my darling, so take care of yourself.
And I of you too. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Andy Clarke there, everybody. We have got more to come your way, and we are going to be bringing you, in just a few minutes' time, we are bringing you much information about the legend that is Miss Pat Phoenix. Now, many of you might not remember her.
She's in the
Basically, this is it, and she's on a picture somewhere. She's there. She's over there as well. The first icon of, the first icon of soap. In the meantime, obviously, some of you are thinking about holidays.
Yes. Oh, I'd kill for a holiday, mate.
I would too, but you can't go too far abroad. But we should remember the travel counsellors and how they've been looking after us.
There are postcards on the wall still. There are photos on our phones. There are moments shared together there forever in our bones. Dreams of holidays and city breaks and honeymoons, and then how we long to have those photos and those postcards once again. Going, here I am, like Princess Di, outside the Taj Mahal. That's us, with giant ice creams cruising down the Grand Canal. We have seen the Seven Wonders. We have sailed the Seven Seas. We can order beer in Spanish, German, French and Japanese. We have rolled the dice in Vegas, rolled across so many lands. I have stopped the Leaning Tower of Pisa leaning with these hands. I have seen Forbidden City. I have walked those ancient walls. I have seen how Everest rises and the way Niagara falls. I have seen the Bolshoi Ballet and the Valley of the Kings. I have been in great cathedrals as a choir of angels sings. I have said a prayer for Elvis down in Memphis, Tennessee. I have never swum with dolphins, but the dolphins swam with me. I have stories of the glories of the Orient Express in Nova Scotia's snow, so I proposed and she said yes. We are travel counsellors, and you may not know our name. There are many travel companies, but they're not all made the same. We're built on personal relationships, bespoke, beloved, boutique, through human unto human, understanding you, unique. We always care, we're always there, we always share a rare resolve. And when a client has a problem, pretty soon it's problem solved. Cause any trouble at the double and our safety net's connected, and our clients know that rightly so, their money is protected. That's why people trust their travel to our tried and tested teams, be it business trip or holiday, their honeymoon of dreams. And the way we got through COVID, what we learned and what we know is, we're not all talk, we walk the walk, and we've got the stars to show this. We saw colleague helping customers get through this. And back at base, the staff at Ace, their backup helps us do this. And all this support, the way we fought, the qualities we've shown, our Herculean efforts to get everybody home. And we say that we are different, oh, but how that's proved to be. Our team were just magnificent, the thank yous plain to see. And today, we know some way to go to the day we say we're through this. Let our memories send us postcards of just how and why we do this. Yeah, I've sailed into Venice, I have cruised along the Nile, from the open arms of Jesus to the Mona Lisa smile. I have smiled and laughed and lived and loved in countless nameless bars. And that day above the bay, the way we kissed beneath the stars. I have seen the Trevi fountain, thrown a coin in, made a wish, and the plain truth is it came true, with so many days like this. And just the kids and you and I beneath the sky, then heaven knows all the love we felt between us there, with sand between our toes. We have reached the secret beaches where the sunsets made us cry. We have plans to have our ashes mixed and brought here when we die. I have seen the Sphinx of Giza where the very pharaohs trod. I have reached across with Adam, touched the outstretched hand of God. I have danced to jazz piano down in Old Town New Orleans. I have gazed at Lady Liberty thinking, I know what she means. I have seen the pride of lions. I have watched a tiger's power. I sang Non je ne regrette rien atop the Eiffel Tower. I have seen the Golden Temple. I have seen the Golden Gate. I have screamed, I did it my way from atop the Empire State. And so yes, I do it my way. No regrets. I live my dream and I send a thank you postcard to the travel counsellors team. So you see, with us, it's personal. That is how we made our name. There are many travel companies, but they're not all made the same. If you look for trust, then book with us. And as discussed, that's when. There'll be moments we'll remember in our bones still. Once again.
Well,
Thank
big
you.
thank you there to the travel counsellors for all they're doing. Of course, that lovely poem there, written by Manchester's finest, Mr. Tony Walsh. He's got a great voice, cracking voice. We are now going to be talking about this lovely lady. And for those of you who don't know who she is my icon, she is my legend, so this is an absolute treat for me. This is a little VT, first of all, though, about a lady simply known as Pat.
Venus, 1961.
Many, many men have fallen into that cleavage and drowned.
Once and for all, if ever again you put your sticky fingers on any fella that belongs to me, I'll knock that stupid peroxided head right off your silly shoulders.
Do you know, it's funny. I don't remember him, damn, mentioning he ever had out to do with you.
No, well, he wouldn't, would he? He wouldn't have chance, not with you throwing yourself at him like he was the last man alive. Did he know that you throw yourself at everything in trousers that comes through that flaming door? Look, if it's all right for you to look at a bird in miniskirts and go, yum, yum, then I'm not going to be ashamed of liking to look at young men.
Pat Phoenix was Britain's first queen of the soaps. Known throughout the nation as Elsie Tanner, she played her character in Coronation Street for 21 years.
I went in totally aggressive, ready to lose, you see, and I walked in through the door, and instead of seeing one man, there's six of them. And I don't know if you've ever seen this sort of thing happen. I don't know if it happens to you, but when I become terribly nervous, I become aggressive, and I start dropping things, and I had an umbrella and a handbag, and this is a sort of thing. Will you sit down, Miss Phoenix? Just a minute. Chair. And all this business, you see. And then they look me over very carefully, and they say, will you read that? So I read it.
The first episode of Coronation Street was broadcast live in December 1960.
Now, look, let's get this straight. Not an hour ago, you asked me for 2 bob for cigarettes.
And you wouldn't give it me, we know.
So you stooped to going in a lady's handbag.
Just listen, a lady, is that what you crack on you are these days?
Fine son, a fine son you are. That tongue of yours will get you on one of these days.
Oh, give over. Luke, you've lost 2 bob. I don't know where it is. What am I supposed to do about it?
Get work. That's what you're supposed to do about it.
Change record, will you?
Pat Phoenix came from a broken home in Manchester. Her father was a bigamist. Her stepfather told her she'd never make it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pat Phoenix.
Pat Phoenix.
In 1983, Pat published her autobiography and announced that she was leaving Coronation Street for good. Though pressed by reporters, she refused to say why.
I have told no one.
and I don't intend to tell anyone about anything.
What have I done to deserve you, Dennis? I've got gorillas in my sink, chorus girls in my bed, and I go out for 5 minutes and you let the flaming bailiffs in.
You ready, love?
Hmm?
Ready for off?
Oh, yeah. Just dropped my keys in with a neighbour.
How long are you away?
Ah, now there's a question.
So here to talk to us today about the legend that is Pat Phoenix, we've got, of course, Mr. Mark Llewellyn. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
Very well.
Now,
thank
this
you.
is absolutely pure porn.
She's
pure
living
porn.
for it.
Because you
the porn
arrived
is on her ears. As we're going.
I know, you arrived and instantly you give me a gift. So last time you were here, I think...
I didn't give you a gift.
No, I didn't. Don't be
It's not a
Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase. You've managed to let me wear, for the show, these lovely earrings that were Pat's.
Yes, she did wear those.
Yeah. Can't hit you over the head with something this time, though.
No, you can't hit me over the head with nothing.
I'm always lending you jewellery.
You are, but it looks good on me, doesn't it?
And it always goes back again, yes. Thank you, Brandon.
And I've even worn her hair.
You have?
Yes, you have.
I think I've done quite well. This isn't her hair by anybody that's writing now. I'm not that type of person. So let's talk about Pat Phoenix then. Pat Phoenix became her later stage name. What was her first original name?
Well, when she was born, she was Patricia Frederica Manfield.
I can see why she changed it. I'm starting to get it.
But she changed it a few times because Manfield was her father's name, but it later transpired that her father was a bigamist. Yes, a policeman came knocking at the door and asked for the relatives of this gentleman, Tom Manfield, because he'd been involved in an accident with his wife. But Pat's mum was still at home, and so they went to the hospital, and it then all came out that he was a bigamist.
Yeah.
So that was her first name. Then her mum remarried a Richard Pilkington, so she became Patricia Pilkington.
Pat Pilkington, yeah.
Then somebody gave her a stage name, and James Dean was very famous at the time, so she became Patricia Dean.
Oh!
Yeah, and she was Pat Dean for a while.
It's a good surname, Dean.
It is. Or Tricia, as she preferred to be called amongst her friends. And then she went to London, and an agent rang up and said, we've got a photo here which had Pat Pilkington written on it. And they said, we can't see the name, so it's Pat P, what's the P stand for? And she decided there and then she was going to change, and she had a book by her side which was called Phoenix Rising, so she said Phoenix, and that's how she got the Pat Phoenix.
And she was a proper Mancunian, wasn't she?
She was.
Whereabouts was she born?
Well, she was actually born in Manchester city centre herself.
Right.
And she was brought up they lived on Juicy Street.
Oh, Juicy Street, do you know it?
No.
Oh, it's fabulous. It's all...
Yes.
Yeah, you do know it. I'm going to have to take you there tomorrow. It's one of the famous streets.
Yes, it is now. And she used to go to the Hippodrome Theatre. Do you know where that was?
Yes.
Sort of opposite where the Palace is.
Yeah.
And then when her mum remarried, they moved to Moss Side, then they moved back to Juicy Street. So it was very much city centre that she was brought up in.
And how successful was her acting career before Corrie?
Bit hit and miss.
Right.
She said she was a
back to life.
Absolutely.
Hit and miss.
I mean, she started out working for the council in the gas department.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then she worked down at one of the aviation factories in Trafford Park. Went into Rep Theatre, Chorlton Rep and things like that to start with. Ended up at Keighley. And she had a big break in the 50s at the Mancunian Film Studios, which were on Dickinson Road.
Yes.
And she appeared there in Cup Tie Honeymoon with Sandy Powell. Can You Hear Me, Mother?
Yeah.
Which will mean...
I
means nothing to you
I
at
do,
all.
actually. No, I do.
And she did a few vampire movies which were popular in the 50s.
Yes.
But it got very desperate. She moved to London. She'd married, because she married 3 times in real life.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, proper Elizabeth Taylor.
So her first marriage lasted about a year.
You've only got 2 more to go, it's fine.
I know.
And she moved to London, and things got very desperate, and so she actually did try to take her life, and but the gas ran out.
Oh, of course.
So she survived and moved back to moved back to Manchester, and then of course she got the casting call to go along to Granada Television, and that's where things really took off.
What age was she when that first happened, then, when she got the role in Corrie?
So, well, she was 15 years younger than Pat should have been. She was only in her Elsie was
should have
rather.
been, yeah.
So she was only in her 40s, and indeed for the first few years she actually padded up, and they used to paint lines on her to age her up.
Wow.
So in later years, people used to say, "You always look the same." And she said, "Well, I was catching up."
Up to the period
with the age I
I've
was
still got a
playing.
chance. That's what I'm here.
That's right.
Brilliant. She was the first soap icon, hero, first soap, everything really, wasn't she? She started it all going, wasn't
She's
she?
a bit like the OG Peggy to what most people would sometimes know now, though. Like, she had that attitude. Original Peggy. If you don't understand what OG means.
I have no
Peggy
idea.
Mitchell, huh?
She what?
Peggy Mitchell?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
No, that had that attitude, had that ability to just go for another character.
Yes, I mean, like herself, she had that.
What was OJ?
OG?
OG?
Original.
Oh.
Oh.
We're teaching her the slang on the show, kids.
Write that one down, please, Jonathan. These youngsters are
getting down with the kids. Yes, she had that fiery thing, and like you've just seen in the clips there, that very speedy delivery as well.
Yeah, she's incredibly quick. Now, I know from acting experience as an Irish guy, a lot of times I'm getting told to slow down.
Yes.
So seeing someone be able to speak that fast and get every single syllable out, it's incredible.
Yes, it was. And the nation kind of took Elsie Tanner to their hearts because she was a real character. Everyone knew somebody like that who was a bit mutton dressed as lamb.
Yeah.
That was how it was portrayed. And, had this wayward son in Dennis.
Yes.
Where Dennis.
Yes.
And of course, she didn't, I mean, it's black and white, so she didn't have the power of the red hair and that. She really had to hit that character, which is what he did. And then when they married her off, there's a few things here. So this is the wedding to Steve Tanner. I don't know whether you want.
Let's
Can
have
you
a
get
look
that
at
on your
that.
camera?
There we go.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
So she insisted that she be married off to a character with the same surname, Tanner, because she said, "I've established Elsie Tanner. Now you want to change it."
Not changing it.
So, so in 1967 they married off. She was only married for about a year. It was a way of, she left the show and then she came back again.
Yeah.
She had she'd go off and do theatre and things like that. But she was very protective of the character. And then she had 2 stints really. She didn't stay in it. She left, and she would always have time out to do theatre, which was her first love.
Is that what she really enjoyed doing, was it?
Yeah, it certainly was. She enjoyed the audience.
It's that live audience.
And the interaction, I suppose.
Yeah, which every performer does, of course. And then when she went back, they told her that they were ending. Elsie always had this on-off relationship with Len Fairclough.
Yes.
And so they were marrying Len Fairclough off to Barbara Knox as Rita.
Right.
Oh,
So, and there was a bit of a problem. So they had to produce this special supplement. So they went to the church a few weeks before the filming.
Right.
And did all the photos.
Yeah.
And Pat went along as a wedding guest, but Pat wasn't pleased that they were marrying off Len Fairclough. Her love.
Oh, I bet she wasn't.
So when it came to the actual day of filming, she wouldn't come out of her dressing room and she wouldn't go.
Oh, she's not a diva at all.
No.
Good on her.
So they had a problem then because she was in those photographs.
So we've done all the promotional stuff, but now
Yes.
you're not going to be in it.
So they had to change it. Now, I don't know, have you got a picture from that or?
No,
No, that's fine.
No. Oh, there we go.
So,
Oh, no.
in there,
Go
let's
on.
see if we can find it, whether you can
Let's
get
find it.
So what they had to do, if
Yes.
you hold...
I bet that's the first crease in this magazine.
There you are.
There we go.
I don't know if you can see.
Let's see. This here, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So between the
Come
wedding couple, there is a grey figure. And that is Pat, and they had to paint her out.
Oh, they have painted her out. Look.
Oh my god.
Can you see?
Oh my
I don't know if you've ever seen that episode of Doctor Who set in the 50s.
Yes,
with
it's-
no faces. That's
It's
what
like
she
that,
looks
isn't
like.
it? It is like that.
That's exactly what she just looks like. That's hilarious.
So they had to paint her out. But Barbara Knox, I was talking to Barbara the other week, and she said when she went in it, there was a bit of friction because
Redheads.
she had exactly.
Oh. You see, this is my thing as well,
Is it?
though. On the street, I
Never
kick
fight
up
a ginger.
on Canal Street. If anybody ever
Right.
goes red, they
Yes.
have to. Honestly,
I've actually seen you do that.
Well, and then Barbara found that in her first entrance into the Rovers, she was to go up and order a gin and tonic, and Elsie drank gin and tonics. So Barbara decided to change it and she rewrote the line as vodka, and that's why Rita still drinks vodka today, because she didn't want to drink the same as Elsie Tanner.
I love the politics of it. Of course, she was famous for a bit. Her double act, I suppose, was her and her son in the program.
In the show,
Yes,
Philip,
I mean, that was just perfect from day one.
Absolutely. They had a very good working relationship anyway, and they got on very well. I mean, others didn't. She had a falling out with Bill Roache and didn't speak to him for a year. And she didn't. She didn't really speak to Jean Alexander, who played Hilda Ogden.
Oh, really?
No.
For what reason?
Well, Pat was very show busy and and big.
Yeah.
And Jean was very quiet and quite serious, and so they just didn't really gel. So they didn't have a lot.
Well,
to
you'd
do
never think Hilda Ogden would be accused of being serious, would you?
No, great actress, you see.
Amazing. What else have we got here then? Because I mean, let's work our way through it now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's from the 2000th episode. There's a nice picture of her. There's one near the back actually of her riding her horse in real life.
No. 2000.
Yeah, and in fact, there's a little throwback even today, because when Elsie Tanner had the phone put into her house, number 11,
yes,
they decided it would be a red telephone, of course, for the Scarlet Woman.
Uh-huh.
Now, even today, and it's been the case ever since, all the residents of number 11 have a red telephone.
Oh, is this a thing?
Yes,
that's
a thing.
Amazing. Who's currently living in number 11?
Eileen.
Eileen.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing how well the continuity is really kept as it goes.
I like things like that.
Now, Pat got married, as I say, had her first marriage only lasted about a year. Second husband she married in the show. She married a character called Alan Howard.
Yes.
Who was played by an actor called Alan Browning, and then they married in real life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was alcoholic, so it
Died
was
from alcoholism.
He did.
Alcohol poisoning.
And they were together a few years, but she had a tough time with it, really.
Yeah.
They toured in theatre shows, and she had difficulty, and so she went back into the show, and then she'd met the actor Tony Booth years before, so she then left. So there's
Tony Booth, of course, is famous for being Sherry Blair's dad. That's right, yeah.
That's right.
There we are.
He's kind of important to Mr. He was the Prime Minister at one point.
Yes.
Who?
Very
Tony
good.
Booth.
Anyway, never heard of him.
And Tony Booth also played best man to Alec Gilroy when Bette and Alec got married as well. So Pat then left, did some tours with Tony, and then of course she was taken ill, and she married him on her deathbed.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So she famously didn't say anything for ages, did she? And she would release her autobiographies.
She did.
Yeah.
We got two of those there.
You've got they're both. Oh, you've got one in paperback and
signed.
They're not signed by her.
Oh,
you'll have to carry on. I'm having a moment. Having a moment.
So. So then,
do you know what I should have done to be really clever?
What?
I should have brought my copy that's not signed in,
and then switched it. Do you know what's not a bad idea? I've already got the replacement earrings over there.
That is very not Wigan of me. I'm not impressed.
I pay Brandon to watch over these things.
I get paid to do a few things in this show.
Yeah.
Now leave it. I'll have none.
But yes, she wasn't very well. She was fully aware of what was going on, but she didn't tell many people at all.
No.
I think her agent knew, and maybe one or two other people, and that was it. She didn't tell Tony that she was ill.
It's that thing though, she was such a kind of actress with such a fiery disposition in the way she was in life that would almost ruin her reputation in her head, I suppose.
Yeah.
She'd be like that. She wouldn't want people to think of her as ill.
Well, she'd also done this glamorous...
anyway.
I mean, there were lots of fights on the show because she dressed up in far wealthier outfits than Elsie should have been wearing. well, there was a lovely quote from her saying, but it gives hope to so many millions of women at home to think they too could look.
Well,
do you know what?
Look at me. I am living proof.
Living proof that you can dress mutton as lamb.
I also love the quote. Oh my!
Wow.
Well,
somebody needs to
remember the book. Let's look at that book again. Should we look at the book?
It's been lovely to be on your last show.
She loves me really, I promise.
I don't know. I also love the fact that she used to say when she was asked about the casting couch and whether she'd be that her line that she used to deal with that was to say to casting directors, "I am fully open to working the casting couch, but I'll just let things clear up down below first."
It's quite the rabbit.
Absolutely.
And I will write that one day. We have got to wrap it up, unfortunately.
Yes.
What else have we got very quickly?
Just some photos there if you want to
Let's
with
have a quick
Philip and so on.
perusal through these, shall we? Here we are then. So talk us through who these
So
are.
that's Philip Lowry, who played Dennis, her son.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's her, of course. And she was the first one to have the 3 flying ducks in her home, long before Hilda Ogden.
Ah, right. And then
that's the one filming the wedding to Steve Tanner.
Amazing. Well, as always, thank you very much for
You're
your
very
time.
welcome.
Now, you're going to come back in, I think it's a month's time, to talk about, I can't pick them up and I don't want to bend them. To talk about another famous Korea icon.
Yes.
The wonderful Vera Duckworth.
Yes, Liz Dawn.
Liz Dawn. So
Yep.
we'll get some stories about her in a little while's time. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming in. This is all for... I should take these off now, shouldn't I?
You should, really.
I should. I'll take them off. And I'll put them in there.
In a little pot.
As we've been talking about television, let's see what's been on the box.
Hi, I'm Hayley and welcome to this week's On The Box. How's everyone doing? Now, a few days ago, I watched the most hilarious film. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and it stars Melissa McCarthy, who I cannot help but laugh at when I watch, and also Octavia Spencer, who I think is an absolutely brilliant actor. And it's about 2 best friends who team up to become superheroes. It's on Netflix and it is called Thunder Force. There is also a film called Run. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my list. It's a psychological thriller starring Sarah Paulson. There is Concrete Cowboy. Now, Netflix seems to be full of Western-style films, series, horse riding, etc. I'm loving it. I love horses, I'm loving it. Now, this one is a modern cowboy Western-type drama, and it explores the African-American horse riding culture, and it centres on a rebellious 15-year-old who is sent to live with his father. Now, there is Bad Trip. That is a hidden camera comedy, and it follows best friends Chris and Bud. They take a road trip from their small town so that Chris can actually declare his love to his childhood sweetheart in New York. Now, over on the soaps, Peter and Carla are in a race against time to get wed. On Corrie, and in EastEnders, it is decision time for Koosh. Now, that's it from me. I will catch you next time. Remember, stronger together. Bye.
Thanks, Hayley. What a queen. Now, next with us, we've got the amazing and talented Colin Titley, or as we rather know him,
Titters! Welcome back, Flower.
Thank you for having me.
It's been forever.
I know, it has, hasn't it? And thank you for the feed, by the way.
I hope you've left some, by the way.
There is a bit left, yeah.
What's a bit?
A bit.
Should we get
a bit?
Let's just go straight back.
We go back
we go to the green room, please. See how much food's left, please. Thank you from Food. How much food is left, please, in the green room?
So you just keep going, as long as you talk.
Green room.
What we should have done is just gone quiet for a minute and listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, come on, let's go back to... So, what are we talking about today then?
Right. Coming out of lockdown, lots of opportunities arising that we didn't have quite before. And now the first one, it was a little chat with a lady yesterday who, first time mum with a 3-month-old little baby boy, and they went to Mums and Tots for the first time. And they said how, she was just sort of like saying something as simple as that, but how overwhelming it is because they've been isolated in their little box and what have you. And the baby had seen other people for the first time. Normally at that age, they've been passed around, haven't they?
Yeah.
Then moving on from there, bars, obviously the bars reopening.
Yes.
You might know a little bit more about this than me.
I've only been to 10 so far.
But I mean, the big one really for Manchester, well, the 2 big ones for Manchester really. There's the beach,
yes,
the Great Northern, which I believe, well, past it tonight, was heaving tonight on the way past. And presume there's lots going on in the village.
There is lots going on in the village. You were out the other night, weren't you?
I was out the other night. I was out, we went up and down. It was amazing to see because for seeing so many people, I noticed this even in the city centre, it's become sort of base instinct for us all to do the 2-metre thing.
Yeah.
So even though people were sat at their tables or you were in the Arndale or anything, people were still moving and keeping away from everyone. So it's kind of built into this now.
Yeah. Another one that's coming up for the future.
Yes.
It's the candlelit concerts at 600-year-old this year.
Yeah.
Manchester Cathedral.
Right.
It's the birthday, 600.
Yeah.
So there's an awful lot of these concerts on.
Yeah.
And we've got anything from, there's a bit of ballet. I think they're all orchestras.
Oh, beautiful.
But anything from sort of like Elton John, movie themes.
Yeah.
Bit of classical music, all of £15 a ticket.
Yeah.
From 15 quid to 35
They're
quid.
doing an anime one that I thought looked quite interesting. It's only 15 quid, and I went, that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
For
so.
real live orchestra, live and
Live
everything.
orchestra.
Got screens coming up for all the stuff that's going on. You can
And
watch
we must have all, when we've been on holiday, gone in cathedrals. And that, everywhere. We've got one on our doorstep.
Magical times.
Absolutely. Lovely venue for all that. The next one, going back to, if you remember, sort of like swimming, when we covered swimming back 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago.
Well, that's back in, and you can actually go back swimming and book your appointment, going, because it's so good for your mental health.
Right.
And what have you.
It is true, I'm dying to get back to the pools.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
And finally, going back to my very first one.
Yes.
Bit of walking rugby is back.
Bloody hell. You're not back on
walking
that,
rugby.
are you?
Well, I'm thinking of...
I didn't realise your Manchester was a contact sport.
It's absolutely... You try with determination walking to beat your fellow... Well, I'm going to say fellow man, but it's not, because it's mixed teams. Doesn't matter.
That's a good job, it's mixed teams.
And it's sorted out by Sales Sharks.
Yeah.
They're the people behind it. But obviously my club is Eccles Rugby Club.
Yes.
And they, I must point out, were the first rugby club in the country to take on the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme. We can just talk about
Well, I'll take you on. This is it, right? Me v you. This is it.
And it's what's it. And so, for any people who know, if you know anyone who wants to get involved in the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, there's a centre. There are other places that obviously where it's.
We were always told never to get involved with the Duke of Edinburgh scheme because there was like a competition between the Duke of Edinburgh Awards and the Scouts. It was sort of merged now.
It's sort of gone into one area.
You have to be one or the other.
But it's one of those that if you go in the Scouts, you have it on your CV.
Yeah.
You haven't, I don't know, there's something shiny about
there is.
A DV award.
I mean, I feel
You've been
that's
to the palace to get your gold award.
Yeah.
And two people going for the job. One's got a DV and one hasn't.
I know.
You got, have him, could they?
Yeah.
You've done,
You're not going to get the job
for boys and it's for girls.
For having a knitting badge, are you really? Do you know what I mean?
So it's just sort of like, opportunities are out there.
Yeah.
And I intend taking up one or two.
Really?
Get me shorts out.
Oh no.
Walking rugby.
Please don't film it.
No. At least I'm not going swimming in my Speedos.
Now you've done that before though. You like your Speedos.
Oh,
We've got video evidence
doesn't love
of
a
your
budgie
Wearing my
Speedos.
Speedos and
Yeah?
And what's it, Captain Ahab with that big spear behind me.
You call it a spear.
Kids show this.
Amazing. So we are going to start getting you back now. How's it been lockdown for you?
Lockdown's been very good, been very fortunate. Done a couple of things for podcasts and radios.
Very nice.
We have a regular the Friday Night Players presents Onward, which started actually in this studio.
It did? Who created that for you then?
Oh, well, you did the very first episode for us. or your alter ego.
I'll tell you, if I
So
just
you've had
put
to
it
move
out
away and
there
make
now,
it better,
just in
I
case, if
understand.
it makes any money, I want the credit like Tony One
51%
based on an original
of this
idea.
company.
Yeah, you'll be all over it like a cheap suit.
I will if there's money in it. I tell you, I'm anywhere for the money these days. I am a cheap suit.
The other one was one for Mank Made podcast, which is they're out on iTunes and they're actually charted number 40 in American iTunes at the moment.
That's a bit good, isn't
But
it?
it's all Manchester-based actors, writers, and it's just done through them.
Well, that's
nice.
So any actors, writers, creatives who want to get the stuff out there, contact.
I'm over here.
Right.
See you soon.
That's amazing. Well, thank you very much for coming in. We're going to get you in very, very soon again. So what we want you to do is we want you to go and do something that you wouldn't normally do, like we used to do in the olden days, now that we can.
Right, something I wouldn't
Like a
normally
bath covered in custard, you know.
do. No, I think I'll go progressive bar.
Yeah, I want to see how far we can go with this.
You're not well. I've decided you're not well.
Doctors have been deciding that for years.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, sequence dancing.
Sequence dancing.
But the progressive one, so I can touch as many people as possible when you go out and you change partners.
Yeah, are you going to have a go
But
at
you can
that?
touch as many people as you want. Once we're allowed to touch again, yeah.
Yeah, once we're allowed
I've been
to
told to
touch.
stop touching
I don't know
people.
how they've coped if they've had to read Braille. Anyway. All right then. What we're going to do now, everybody, is we are telling you that we did show at the beginning that holidays are coming back, everybody.
Yes.
Holidays are coming back. In fact, everybody, there is one place that I recommend that you go and stay, but you don't have to pay for it at the moment, everybody, because we're very lucky. We've been given permission to run this competition. It's all about a lovely, lovely place in North Wales called Ruthin Castle.
Oh, she got it right. I was ready to correct her.
Ruthin Castle.
Ruthin.
Now, if you are interested in winning yourself a one-night stay for two and a meal, 3-course meal for two, then look no further than this competition.
Win a fantastic one-night stay in North Wales at the luxurious Ruthin Castle. You and one other person could win a one-night stay plus dinner for two in this beautiful venue. Ruthin Castle is a beautiful retreat, steeped in history and nestled in acres of parkland. Here you can indulge yourself with exquisite dining, unwind in our distinctive spa before sinking into a luxurious bed for a sleep worthy of a prince or princess. All you have to do is answer the following question. What character from The Wizard of Oz is behind Belinda's head on most episodes of Your Manchester? Full terms and conditions apply, entrance must be over 18, and the competition closes on May the 5th, 2021.
Well, there you go, everybody.
There we
So if
go.
you are interested in winning yourself a wonderful holiday at Ruthin Castle for one night, staying there like a
3-course
prince,
meal,
like a prince or princess. It'd be fabulous, wouldn't it?
I'd be a lord or lady, but you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Anyway, if we are taking out the if we are, I don't know what's happened to me. If we are taking in
Red lorry, yellow lorry.
Very good. If we are taking in the outdoors, then we need to check what the weather's like, and one man can tell us all about that. It's over to Mr. Paul Rudd.
Hello, my lovely weather watchers, and welcome to this week's weather forecast. And I'm live here in the studio again. Thank you so much for having me. We are going to have a glorious week this week. So let's have a look at the graphics. Here are the details. Alright, Thursday is going to be sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 11. Friday, sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 12. And as we look forward to Saturday, it's going to be sunny with the temperatures of 14. And Sunday is going to be sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 14. So a glorious week ahead. Don't forget your sun cream. And can I wish my sister a very happy birthday, because it's my sister's birthday, Liz's birthday, on Friday. Happy birthday, Liz. And it's back to Belle and
Brandon.
It's Belle and Brandon in the studio.
What's going on?
Do you know what? This is that Shell and Bell thing, wasn't it?
It is.
That is. I'm sorry it doesn't rhyme.
It's all very delectable and exciting. Now, I don't know what's happening next week. I haven't got a clue. Nobody's told me. Nobody's told me what's happening. We were talking, of course, just before we go into that, about wonderful performances that are on.
Yes.
There is one performance coming your way on the 22nd of next month, I do believe. And if you want to check it out, here's a little VT. We're talking about the food that's still left, everybody.
If anyone's wondering.
So, mate,
we're starving.
Stop it.
So, foodie foods, we're going to be eating your food very soon.
It's very good food as well, apparently.
That's what I've heard.
Eating a thing I wouldn't know. I don't eat anymore, can you tell?
Yeah. It's thin as a rake.
Thank you. You are so in trouble, I tell you. Right then, everybody. Like I said, I don't know what's happening next week. I'm sure we'll find out as we get through it, but I don't know what's happening. So I can't even tell you what's happening.
But it's going to be incredible.
Is it going to be good?
Of course it is.
Do you know what's happening?
Not a clue, but tell you now, your Manchester is always incredible, so we know it will be.
All right, well done you.
Thank you.
Clawing your way back to unemployment. Right, okay then, everybody. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next week with Michelle, is that right? Yeah, Michelle next week, only on this lovely programme known as
Your Manchester.